One love to the humble, one love to the humble, one love to the humble. I'd like to welcome each and every one of you here, and I'm thankful for you. I'm glad you took your time out to watch this video because I got to share something with the youth today. What I'm about to share today is strictly for the youth, and it may be uh, for some of you people that's older as well. And when I say the youth, I'm talking about, as far as I'm concerned, the youth to me, as far as I'm concerned, is 35 and under. That's considered the youth to me. That's what I consider it because what I'm looking at right now is it's crazy to me that we even have to have these type of discussions because some of the things need to be pointed out and made aware. We need to make some things very, very clear when it comes to this stuff that the youth is doing. Because if you're in your 30s, mid 30s at that, and you are over some type of organization that's orchestrating crime and orchestrating things of that nature, you know, you're leading the youth into destruction. And maybe you just don't understand that, and that's okay because it's a lot of things that we don't understand. And sometimes we get caught up in things for too long and there's no way out, even though we want out. But we have to ride it out because we just at a position where there's no way out. But this is for those who may be falling under that person. If you're the one at the top, then you probably, there's no way out for you. You're going to keep on doing what you're doing. But this is for the young ones who is not in it or early in it and you still got a way to get out. I want to point out something to you today with this video. And this is directly directed to the youth. So look, there's a rapper by the name of Lil Durk. He's a Chicago-based rapper, and he has a record label called OTF, and I believe that stands for Only the Family. And in that organization, from what according to FBI records, that this group or this record label is also they operate also allegedly in gang activity, according to the FBI agent that's part of this arrest. So look, they run a record label and they do supposedly crimes, unaliving, things of that nature, assaults, things like that. Now, the thing about this is these guys are rapping, they're doing what they call drill music. Drill music is music that these guys talk about all the violence that they're doing. And they're not just writing rhymes about it. They really, really are doing these things that they're saying in their rhymes. Pretty much self-snitching, telling on themselves. I don't know why they do it, but this is what they do. Now, if you're young and you live in a neighborhood where you can't help it and you have to grow up in that neighborhood and you have to be a part of this, I understand. But what you got to be thinking about in your mind is how you're going to get away from it. If you have to get away from it and struggle just to survive, then that's what you're going to have to do. Because going behind bars for a long period of time is not where it's at. It's not what you want to do. I don't care how much they make YouTube channels. I don't care how much they praise or give big props to these guys that come out of prison. It ain't what you think it is. And you're going to see that if you ever go in there and you're young. You're going to see what it is. But I'm going to get back to the story. Excuse me, I'm under the weather, but I'm going to keep going. The guy, Lil Durk, supposedly orchestrated a revenge unaliving on because the guy, I guess, tried to, either he did or he tried to unalive one of his label mates. No, let me back up. I've said that wrong. Basically what it was, they sent somebody out to Los Angeles to unalive someone for revenge unaliving, if that makes sense. So it's supposed to be revenge on somebody that they was going to take out revenge on someone. So they was going to unalive this person. And I guess the people they sent out there, they found the person at the gas station and they went to unalive him at the gas station in broad daylight. They just shooting off rounds in the broad daylight at a gas station. That's reckless behavior. That's very, very reckless. That ain't the way you do business. I mean, I'm not saying that I know anything about it. I'm just saying if you're going to put other people's lives in danger, then you're a menace. You should not be putting other people's lives in danger. That's number one. You shouldn't be doing this at all. But if you are, if this is your lifestyle, then deal with the people you gonna deal with one-on-one. Don't be putting other innocent people, children, men, women, children, lives in danger, and you don't even get the person you're going after. Anyway, they didn't get the person, if I'm not mistaken. But the murder, the unalive for hire is what he's been arrested for. And you know when it comes to these organizations that's doing criminal activity, they're gonna hit you with the RICO. And when you get hit with the RICO, it's damn near impossible to get out of RICO. Because what they're gonna do is, whether you had your hands in it or not, they're gonna tie all that together. Everything that your people did below you, they're gonna tie it all up together. Now this RICO came about because of the mob. Back in the day, the mob, they didn't have a way to get to the top of the mob. They didn't have a way to get the bosses. And they had to figure out a way to get the bosses. Because, you know, you chop out the head, the body will fall. So what they came up with was a RICO. So they could get the mob bosses. That's where it started at. Now they're using it for every organization out here. If you're in charge of an organization and you commit criminal activity, they're going to hit you with the RICO so they can touch you. If they hit you with that RICO and you got to absorb all of the crimes that your organization commits, you're going to take everybody's crime. They're going to get you for all of them. And you're going to prison for the rest of your life. That's what's going to happen to you if you get out here doing this nonsense. And if you got a criminal record already, it's going to be worse for you. You know, in our community, we like to say, well, why did he get so much time? Why did he get less time than this person get? The black man got more time than the white man. Well, you got to go back and look at the criminal history. That plays a big role in how much time you get. If you go in there and you have done more crime, you can commit the same crime. You're a black man and this a white man, y'all can commit the same crime. You don't have a criminal record, you got an extensive, long criminal record. You get more time. On top of that, they got a good lawyer. Most of us go in there without a good lawyer. We get a public defender. So we don't have a good lawyer already. And we got a criminal record. And we went there and committed this crime. So naturally, you're going to get more time. That's just the way the system is. You don't have to like it, but it is the way it is. If you don't like it, then stay out of it. That's the best thing I can tell you. But anyway, back to this case right here with Lil Durk. Grammy Award winning artist. Got nominated for many awards. Even won a Grammy this year, if I'm not mistaken. And I think he has 5 kids. He's 32 years old. He go to jail at 32 years old. He go to prison at 32. And he facing these charges as it being the one who orchestrate all these criminal activities. They gonna throw the book at him. They gonna throw the book at him. If he don't get life without parole, then he's still gonna get a bunch of years. At 30 years old, if you get a 30-year sentence, that's almost like a life sentence. You're coming out at 60. Now, being 60 is one thing, but going to prison, spend 30 years in prison at the age of 30, and then coming out of prison, and then you 60, that is a life sentence. What you gonna do at 60? The world, you know how much the world will be different? You know how much the world will change in 30 years? It don't seem like a lot of change to us who out here, because we are as a gradual change happens, we're acclimated. We get we get acclimatized to it as we go along. I hope I said that word right. But we get used to it. We see the gradual change and we used to it. But those who've been away for 30 years, you coming out like you stepped on Mars. What you gonna do in 30 years? Nobody knows who you are anymore. Your younger family members don't even know who you are. You just a family member that they know that used to be a famous rapper 30 years ago, or whatever time it is. 30 years ago, who are you now? You can't rap at 60. Nobody gonna buy it. It's gonna be a different type of rap out in 30 years. Jobs are gonna be different. Everything gonna be different. And then you gotta deal with all the nonsense that you gonna have to deal with in prison. And you younger guys that go in there, man, they're gonna make you. They're gonna trick y'all into some stuff you don't want to be involved in. And you know everybody say the same thing. Oh, they're gonna have to unalive me, man. They gonna unalive you there. That's what they gonna do then. You don't have to be a part of none of that stuff. I'm telling you, man, you don't have to be a part of it. And I know all the excuses in the world is what people gonna give me, how hard it is. But what's harder? Finding a way out of that or going to do it 30 years in prison? What you think, using your common sense, what you think gonna be the hardest thing to do? Find a way not to join a gang, find a way not to do criminal activity, or do it 30 years. I can tell you right now, doing them 30 years is gonna be way harder than finding your way out of that situation and finding your way into a better scenario. Well, I live in this neighborhood and all around me is gang activity, so I gotta be a part of it. Really. Really. So there's nothing you can do to not be a part of it. There's many things you can do, but you don't want to do that. I don't have to tell you what to do. You know in your mind what you can do to get away from that. But it's going to be too hard, right? It's easy just to go out here, do dirt, do crime, and go to prison for life. Because that's what's going to happen. They're not playing with you. They're not playing with you at all. You go in their courtroom and you committed some unaliving, and you got a long record, you out of here. They're going to try to hit you with a life sentence. No parole. You're just going to be living on that plantation forever. And the only way you take coming out of there is in a box. And if you have any family members that even know you in there, if you don't, they just put you behind a prison somewhere and bury you out there. That's what you want. At 20 years old, you want to get a life sentence? Do you? At 20 years old, you want to get 60 years? Coming out at 70, ain't never had a family, ain't never had no kids, ain't never had a job, ain't never had nothing. Coming out at 70, you might well not come out at 70. You might well stay in there. What you gonna do out here at 70 years old? I mean, I'm pretty sure it may be something you can do. In 50 years, the world will be different. If you don't understand what I'm saying, go to some of these other YouTube channels. Listen to these guys who locked up right now, these interviewers go in there and interview them. Listen to the ones who've been there 30, 40 years already. Go listen to it. Or just keep rolling the dice. Keep rolling the dice. Because they're making these songs encouraging you to go out here and fight, shoot. No thought whatsoever about the consequences of your actions. And then these guys were shooting in the public, out in the open. They're gonna hit them, they're gonna get charged with all of that. All that's gonna get taken into consideration when it comes to trying to get a lighter sentence. You don't get a lighter sentence for shooting in the public with many in an intersection, traffic around, people around, bullets flying everywhere. They're not gonna give you no lighter sentence for that. You are reckless. And then you got your mama gonna come up there and say, "Oh, my baby innocent." Not my baby. My baby, don't give that much time. You in there crying. You might not cry in the courtroom, but you gonna cry in that jail cell when that judge say life without parole. That means it's over for you. You get nothing. It's just so hard to get through to the youth. Because it's getting worse and worse and worse. It was one way when I was coming up, but we still had respect. If we was going out here and do some dirt, we wasn't gonna put everybody's life in danger. If we was gonna do the dirt, we gonna do it to that one person, not just reckless in front of everybody, get everybody in a situation. Nobody should lose their life for just going to the gas station because you so reckless and you just doing it out in the open. See, these y'all young dudes, y'all want too much clout. Y'all want everybody to know what y'all doing. That's why y'all end up in these bad situations. Nobody should know what you're doing but the people that you doing it with. And still, that's kind of shaky. Because for this guy, one of his own members told on him. What they call it, snitching. One of his own members snitched. You don't trust nobody in this game. When they start throwing out them crazy numbers, them 40, 50 years, oh, everybody gonna be ready to talk. I don't care how tough you was at first. I don't care how down you was at first. I don't care how much y'all was sitting around at the house, drinking and smoking and having partying, got the girls around, got everybody doing their thing, you draped down in your colors, throwing up your signs, music blasting in the background, having a good time. Everybody talking about how they gonna be down. Yo, I got your back for life. We're gonna be doing this for life. You know, no, they ain't gonna never come between us. We this, you know what I'm talking about. You know how everybody be saying all that stuff. See, when the times is good, oh, everybody gonna talk good. Everybody gonna say what they gonna do and how they down, and they ain't gonna never flip. They ain't gonna never switch. Yo, it's for life. We down for life. Right up until they say, look, man, you facing life without parole. As soon as they say that, oh, if you got any information, we don't really want you. We want him because he in charge. Oh, they telling. All that what they were saying that night at the crib or on the block, when y'all was on the block and they was around there, y'all was smoking and drinking, and they was talking about how they was feeling good, everything was going good, all the money was flowing, girls, cars, everything flowing good. And that story they told you, how they would never do that. See, that's because they had never been faced with life without parole. But as soon as they got faced with that life without parole, all that go out the window. Now it's like, oh no, I gotta save myself. Oh, you want him? I give less time? Yeah, we'll probably give you 15 instead of life if you just tell us about him. Oh, they telling. They telling. And you sitting there looking like, what is going on? I remember, and you want to be the solid one, right? You solid. You ain't telling nothing. So you going to take that life without parole. Ain't nobody else over. You in charge. You the leader. And all the people under you going to tell. Ain't nobody taking that kind of time for you. And those who down there, if you in the trenches with somebody and you know something, you're going to tell that too. Because nobody wants to go through that type of time. And everybody was, when everybody up, it's all good. It ain't till when things started falling apart where everybody gonna start taking care of themselves. So you can keep living that life if you want to. Or what you could do, if you don't have no skills, you don't have no education, what you can do is you can go down to McDonald's and fill out an application. Any one of these fast food restaurants. Don't let nobody shame you out of working. If all you qualified to do is work at McDonald's, then you go there and you be the best at it. You go down to McDonald's and you work extremely hard at McDonald's. You keep working your way up until you become the manager. You keep grinding, you keep making more good moves, and then you become the district manager. You keep working until you get to the top. See, this sounds funny to somebody right now. Working your way up from McDonald's up to the manager, up to the assistant manager, up to the assistant manager, the manager, district manager. You know what I'm saying? That sounds funny. It ain't that funny about it. What's stupid is when you get locked up, when you could have been out here still free, working at McDonald's. But you had to have fast money, fast life. But that comes with fast problems too. Too good to work at McDonald's. That paycheck ain't good enough. Because you hear everybody around here now complaining about the money, complaining about inflation. Well, keep doing what you're doing. Go into prison. You ain't got to worry about inflation. Ain't no inflation in there. Only thing you got to protect is your rear end and your life. Because both of them are going to be tested. Oh, yeah. Especially you young ones. The way y'all move ahead today, y'all real feminine already. Most of y'all ain't hardcore. You try to act hard, but most of y'all are real feminine. Because if you know, most of y'all been raised by your mom only. Your dad was nowhere to be found. Most of the people in there were raised by their mom only. Their dad was nowhere to be found. And that's another problem we got in our community. All these fatherless homes. Fathers not just a fatherless home, but a father that ain't even involved in his kids' life whatsoever. Leaving it all up to the woman. She can't do it. The prisons show you that. Message to the youth. I suggest you figure it out. Stop while you can. Cause it's gonna happen to you too. You ain't better, you ain't exempt. It's gonna happen to you too. You're gonna find yourself right down there too. Oh well, I went to the youth program and when I got in trouble when I was 16, they took me down to the youth program. I went to I went through that. Yeah, that's because you was under 18. But once you get over 18, them rules don't apply no more. If you get caught with you got an extensive record, I don't care if you are 16. If they give you 30 years, you're going to do 2 years down there with the youth detention, and then they're going to move you to the main prison when you turn 18. You going in there with them grown men, and you ain't going to be able to do all that stuff you was pulling on the streets with your guns and you was tough and all that. It ain't going to mean nothing in there. Everybody in there tough. Everybody. And you ain't got no guns in there. So y'all dudes don't know how to fight. Young, real soft. They gonna get you. They gonna get you. So I'm telling you, man, you can do what you want to do, but I'm here to tell you what it is. All right? Stay out of there and get yourself together. Get away from this nonsense. You got to move away on your own and just tough it out and rough it out. It'd be better to rough it out and eventually get it going than to keep moving like you're moving, end up getting swooped off the streets for life. Think about that for 1 second. Do you really want to give up your whole rest of your life? You're 20 years old. Do you want a 50-year sentence? They're not giving out light numbers, man. They're giving out big numbers. Do you want to do 50 years? Day for day? In a boring prison? It ain't like out here where it's exciting. You don't run to the mall. You don't run to the corner store. You're not running to watch your favorite show on TV. You don't get the, you stuck in there. You in there. You ain't going nowhere. I hope I made my point to you. But if you made it this far in the video, please like, please share, please subscribe. One love to the humble. Y'all take care.